Welcome back to Potted Living, the show where we teach you how to grow all kinds of fruits and vegetables on your patio or small space, growing all of them in pots, containers. Today, I'm going to do a very quick fire overview and update video of what I have going on my patio. As you can see, I have so much going on, and I'm going to go through each one of them really quick. I've got herbs, vegetables, fruits, citrus. I've got all kinds of stuff. With each plant, I'm going to give you a very quick tip and a trick on how to grow them very well this summer. So here we start with, I guess, strawberries. Very common, phenomenal container plant. My best tip for you, and it's a simple one, give them lots of sunshine. If they're not getting at least 6 to 8 hours of sunshine, you're not going to get a lot of fruit. As you can see, these probably get about 6 hours, and the strawberries are kind of small. They do taste very good, but don't expect those big supermarket strawberries when you grow them at home in pots. Be happy with the small, sweet, wonderful variety. Wait till they get nice and red, pick them then. I've got a pink lemonade blueberry. This has struggled. I cannot get any fruit off of it. I have had such a difficult time with blueberry plants. I'm just not good at growing them. My number one tip to you on that is don't even try. My soil is probably not acidic enough. That's actually the real tip that I want to give you there, is make sure your soil is acidic. Here I've got an early girl tomato plant. There's an indeterminate tomato plant, meaning it's gonna grow basically forever to some degree. It's a vine plant, but on patios, we grow them with bamboo. We tie them up so they can get lots of sun exposure. So in a small pot like this, you can put bamboo on all four corners and slowly tie it up the sides. As it climbs, it will get lots of sunlight and produce tons of tomatoes. As we continue on, we've got the dill. A dill plant, this isn't looking too great. I've been trying to trim it and keep it going. By trimming the dill plants, often it will sprout new shoots. I've not had the best luck this summer. If you look at my video from last summer, you'll see a much better example of this, because it was very bushy and I got lots of dill all summer long. This is a determinate tomato plant. To be honest, I think it's actually called a container tomato. This will grow to a certain size depending on your pot size and then stop growing. Number one tip for this, get a bigger pot. It's not looking too happy. There's a tomato back here that is looking pretty good, but the top flowers, I'm not actually sure if they're even gonna pollinate. I don't think I'll get much tomatoes off of this year. Get a bigger pot, focus on nutrients, they'll do a lot better. Basil. Oh, I love basil, and this is looking fantastic. Look at how lush that basil plant is. Wow. You're gonna get a lot of basil this summer. Top tip, when you wanna get your basil, you'll see this in my other videos as well, pinch the top off to grab the leaves. What it's gonna do is create new shoots that are gonna sprout up, and you're gonna get a bushy look just like I've got here. Don't just pick the leaves, pick the tops off. This is my mandarin. This mandarin plant had tons and tons of mandarins on it last year. This year it's looking a little worse for wear. We are getting a bit of scale issues. When you do get scale, make sure you approach them very quickly and you get rid of them. Citrus also do need a break every now and then, not producing fruit, so I think that's where this mandarin's at. This is my Chilean guava. Wow, do I ever love Chilean guavas. I lost mine last year, so this is a replacement. If it gets too cold, bring it inside. I know it says it's hardy down to -12, I think, Celsius. Don't risk it. If it gets too cold, just bring it inside. Top tip. This is my Tahitian pomelo. Wow, is it ever getting big compared to last year? It's actually got a pomelo growing on it, which is really nice. Top tip for this, make sure that they stay well watered and get lots and lots of sunlight exposure. This is my Meyer kumquat. This has yet to fruit. Again, I think it's focusing on growth, which is great. It was a small plant when I bought it. It's looking pretty happy. What you'll see down at the bottom there, and you'll see this on some of my citrus, is diatomaceous earth. And that is going to help stop ants from crawling up the side and trying to move scale around the plant, which will reduce the amount of scale attacking your plant. This is my huge grapefruit. You might remember from previous videos, this was a tiny plant when I bought it. It's almost as high as my limequat that you'll see in the background there. And it just bloomed like crazy with flowers this year. Most of them fell. I would say 98% of the flowers fell off, leaving only about 5 fruits behind. This is expected behavior from a plant like this. It's only going to hold as much fruit as it believes it can carry. And you can see some of the grapefruits here. They're off the sides. I will have an update video as they get bigger. They're fantastic tasting citrus. This is my, geez, what is this one called? This is a blood orange. Blood orange. Yeah, I have so many citrus I can't remember them all. The blood orange. This one's looking really good. It's grown a lot. Again, I have had some issues with scale, so you'll see a little bit of sticky leaves going on here. You will see a couple of fruit in the back, which is really nice. But yeah, you can see these sticky leaves here. That is because of the scale. They secrete a sugar-like substance. The ants love it. They defend it. They move the scale around to harvest it. I do have another video on getting rid of scale with neem oil. You can watch that one. I haven't used the neem oil yet this year, but I definitely need to get on it. This is my limequat, one of my longest standing citrus. I love this plant. It is loaded with flowers. This citrus is just getting ready to go. It's going to be a big, wonderful producer this year. Again, it's having a little bit of trouble with scale, so I'll have to keep an eye on it with my mitigation strategies. But number one tip with a limequat is trim them back. They like to grow crazy. Just keep trimming them back and then let them grow like a bush. They are much more like a bush plant than a tree, so just let them be natural. Don't fight it. This is a Boyne, I want to say, raspberry. I think I'm saying it right. It fruits on the second year cane. So what you'll see is I have quite a bit of fruit here growing at the bottom. I've picked quite a bit of it today. Those are the second year canes. These are this year's canes that have just sprouted up. So what you want to do is cut back the canes that have fruited all the way down to the base. Allow these canes from this year to grow up. Next year, those new canes are going to be what's going to produce fruit. So it's always this rotating cycle. The old canes are producing the fruit, and new canes are coming up. Get a nice big pot like I got here, and it's going to be a really happy plant. Moving on, my Meyer lemon. This is a funky looking, citrus tree. It just goes all over the place, but it is loaded with fruit. I mean, these things are just crazy producers. If you look back here, I mean, it's just fruit everywhere, right? Just fruit all over the place. It's even sprouting new flowers and new little fruits are growing. This thing is a wonderful producer. Meyer lemons, they taste phenomenal. Number one tip for growing them is, again, trim them back so they'll continue to be a small plant, but it will give you a nice hardy stalk. You can see this is a big thick base here, and that gives you a lot of strength for growing citrus. So you can see just fruits all over the place throughout the year. At the back, I've got my Nevis. My Nevis black currant. This black currant I've not taken the best care of in terms of, yeah, you can see actually there's some fruit back there, which is great. I haven't picked that yet, so that's fantastic. That's what the berries look like on the black currant. They are delicious. What you want to do though is trim them back. Once one of the branches has stopped producing, trim it all the way to the base so a new branch can grow up. I've not been that good at it, so I didn't get much of a harvest this year, so I'm going to have to be on it this fall and spring. That's when you ideally should be cutting and trimming your plants. And then finally, my bird's eye chili. This plant I kept over winter in the house. I grew it last year outside. It produced a number of great chilies. I had it survive through the winter. It barely hung on. I brought it back out, and look at it go. Flowers everywhere. So number one tip, you can get your pepper plants to survive through the winter with warmth and light and moisture. And if you do that well, you'll get another crop this next year, and it's looking like I'm gonna have a ton of chilies based on the number of flowers I'm already seeing. So I'm pretty excited about that. So there you have it. Wow, what a patio and what a view to finish the day. This is a southwest facing patio. That's what's so beneficial about it. I do get quite a bit of natural light, so the plants are quite happy. If you have questions about any of the plants that I have presented today, please do reach out in the comments section. As you can see, I always reply, and I'd love to chat with you and share and have you share your plant growing, potted living experiences with me. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel.